there's a lot of discussion online about how to deal with bad habits. And you'll get answers ranging anywhere from having willpower, being motivated, to having a routine, being disciplined. I think all those things have some positive impact on helping you accomplish your goals, whatever it is you're trying to do. But I find that, at some point, I always fall back into my bad habits, whether it be, not getting enough sleep or enjoying maybe a little too much sugar. I know my mom and I both have a tendency to have a sweet tooth. And one of the clearest observations I've made as to what really has an impact on whether or not I follow through on those impulses is how convenient it is to get my hands on those things, especially those sweets. This morning, there was a bag of donuts sitting on so it's like some leftovers from Christmas, I think. And they've been sitting on the kitchen counter for the last few days, and I keep eyeing them every time I see them. Finally, this morning, I decided to throw them away. But it made me want to talk today about one of the best ways, I think, to help curb bad habits, and that is making it as inconvenient as possible to actually follow through on them. So a prime example, besides the donuts, is social media. So social media is something I've always had a really hard time controlling. Like, I always want to get on there and start scrolling. Sometimes we just do it subconsciously. I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say that. You just open Instagram and start swiping through reels. And I know this is the case because I'm always getting them shared to, like, just an onslaught of reels. And it's even more ironic because it's people who I don't even necessarily talk to on a regular basis, right? Like, there isn't necessarily a deeper connection of, conversation that we have or hanging out in person outside of just sending frickin' reels back and forth, which is a testament to how effective it is at catching our attention. Now, there is something to be said. Like, it is kind of nice when someone shares something with you like that, because it means that they're thinking about you, or that it reminded them of, well, it depends what they sent you, because some of you may not want to be associated with a reel that was sent your way. But in any case, that's an interesting dynamic where you don't have a conversation or connection outside of, sorry, there's a noise that's bothering me. You don't have a connection outside of just sharing online. And anyways, I've now gone on a major tangent. We're talking about social media and how pervasive it is. So one of the best ways to avoid it that I've found is I actually have my accounts sectioned off on a different profile that is not easy for me to access. Now, you could make the argument, well, you're still able to get to them. And in my case, it is kind of important, because if I'm creating content for work or for my other channels, then it's kind of nice to be able to access them. Unfortunately, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. But having that extra obstacle added in there makes a tremendous difference. And I know not everyone is able to do this, because most people have iPhones. I have a phone that's technically a smartphone, but I've set it up to be pretty dumb with a custom operating system. That's the other thing too, is my phone is very inconvenient to use, and so that prevents me from getting into a lot of bad behavior that I otherwise would. And this is coming from someone who loves technology. I love games. I love, understanding different operating systems, building computers, all these sorts of things. And I think it's actually that exposure, that experience that I've had, that has kind of pushed me away from them, because I have a little bit of a deeper understanding as to how damaging it can be, just staying up till all that. I mean, there is such an unlimited supply of stimuli that you can access. If you don't limit yourself, or you don't have any built-in gauge, you just go on forever. You just don't eat. just scroll forever. So I think if one of your challenges is being on your phone too much, or watching too much TV, or I don't know, the list goes on. There's so many things. If those are your issues, then make those things harder to do. In the moments where you're feeling motivated to make a change in your life, that's when you should make the most drastic change so that it continues to serve you in the future. Because relying on myself to go time and time again, staring at those donuts without eating them, eventually one day I'm gonna feel bad or, have a moment of weakness and I'm just gonna eat them, right? Day's gonna come, but I threw them away, so now I don't have to look at them. Just don't have those snacks in your house if you know they're gonna be a problem. Maybe unplug the TV. Like, I know it's easy to plug the TV back in, but it's a little bit harder to plug the TV back in than it is to just pick up the remote. Or maybe put the remote somewhere where it's not easy to access it. These are the steps you can take that will make a little bit of a difference, because just trying to rely on willpower alone is just you're not always going to have it. So that's what I got for today. I hope you have an awesome week, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.